Kilo 4, Tango Charlie Juliet, portable 4.
Roger, TCJ, and what's your location, sir, and name, sir?
And what's your location, sir, and name, sir? Roger, we are in Gold Hill, North Carolina, and the name is Ray, Romeo Alpha Yankee, a portable 4, QSL.
Roger, Ray, and what radio are you running today, sir?
Ray, and what radio are you running today, sir? We're running the AIRCHECK KX3, along with the AIRCHECK KX3 pan adapter and the KPA100 amplifier. The antenna 7-foot Airstream. QSL.
Roger, I was just tuning one of my antennas. What did you say about Airstream? Repeat that, please.
What did you say about Airstream? Repeat that, please. Well, Roger, the station is in my Airstream. I'm running portable from the Airstream in Gold Hill, North Carolina.
Ah, yes, sir, Ray. And so are you self-sustained power-wise, or are you, how are you getting your power for your RV there? Power for your RV there. We have 600 watts of solar panels on the roof going into a Victron MPPT controller, and that charges the 3 Battleborn lithium iron phosphate batteries for 300 amps. Ah, Roger. So, and are you running how much power?
Are you running how much power? Right now we're running 110 watts.
Oh, Roger. So you're not losing any power. You're actually gaining probably 300 watts per hour as you talk on that radio because of your charging status, Roger. Well,
right now, hang on 1 minute. I'll pull up the app. I can tell you how much we're charging. It's going to be, of course, relevant to our location and the sun angle. But right now, we are currently charging 9.5 amps into the battery system, and 135 watts is what's being calculated this time.
Roger. Now that's minus the power being consumed. Roger, is that correct?
Minus the power being consumed. Roger, is that correct? Negative. That is the 9.6 volt, 9.6 amps is the output from the solar panels going into the batteries. At this time, I'm pulling the other app up to see what we're doing here. At this time, we're actually putting 4 amps into the batteries. We're absorbing the rest of the current in our transmission.
Ah, Roger. Yes, it is always rob Peter to pay Paul, and how that system. That's amazing, though. Some folks, can really take advantage, and with solar, up to the point of being able to run kilowatts of power consumption without actually losing anything from the battery. It's all being consumed by, all being furnished by the incoming charge rate. I guess if your controller can handle that kind of power, it's just amazing to me. I've got a former ambulance that I've converted to an RV, and it starts with a 200 amp Lease Neville alternator that can, you can pull quite a bit of power off that in a boondogging situation, and just over a period of an hour or so, you can run like a kilowatt and still have plenty of power left, Roger.
Roger, it all depends on the batteries. If you don't have a good storage capacity, doesn't matter how much you can generate, if the batteries can't store it correctly. And these lithium iron phosphate batteries are just amazing. I have a full 300 amps. Actually, I have 295 usable amps of power before the voltage drops below 12.2 volts.
Roger, Ray. Okay, I've been listening to your audio, and that you're running a K3, is that a Roger?
And that you're running a K3, is that a Roger?
That's Roger with the stock microphone. Now I'm running the KX3, the small one, the small KX3.
Roger that, roger that. Well, we have a setup procedure, generic, that we could probably increase your level just a little bit. It starts with the compressor engaged at a 3. It's a token amount, but it does exactly what we need it to do in the scheme of things. So it does start with the compressor engaged at a 3, and then we'll move on to the ALC, Roger.
3, and then we'll move on to the ALC, Roger.
Well, the gain right now is at 6.5. The gain is at 65.
That you're speaking of your microphone, Roger. Well, what we need to do is look at your ALC, and the whole trick is the microphone level readings are inconsequential. It is rather the effect that the mic gain has on your ALC reading. So we want to set the ALC reading at mid-scale to 2/3. And in order to do that, you'll have to speak rather rapidly to get that meter up to be able to see what it's doing. So we say 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, kind of a quick clip and cadence, and to get that meter up. And then with the mic gain in hand, adjust your ALC then for mid-scale to 2/3 fluctuation, Roger?
To 2/3 fluctuation, Roger.
Okay, I think I understand what you're saying. I'm not showing any, I'm showing my compression right now at about 10, and the ALC jumps in occasionally about 50% scale.
Roger. Now, just one word on the microphone. You're running, sounds like you're running a handheld mic. What you want to do with that handheld mic is pull it to the corner of your lips and talk across it. Do not talk directly into that mic, as you'll get a lot of voice transients in there. So pull the mic to the corner of your mouth and talk across it. That'll minimize any kind of voice trash, Roger.
Voice trash, Roger.
Okay, Roger, I'm doing that right now, and like I say, the ALC is coming up now to about 50 to 60%, and the compression is about 10 on the scale of 1 through 10, or 1 through 20. QSL?
Okay, so probably I might want to drop that. Do you have an input level control for your compressor processor?
For your compressor processor?
I may have one in the menu someplace, but I'll have to get the book out. I don't use this enough anymore to really memorize the menu. I've got so many other things I'm doing right now, but the compression, like I say, is a scale of 10 on the scale of 20, and the ALC is about 60% on the scale on the meter.
Roger. Give me a dead key for about 3 or 4 seconds. Just key it, don't say anything for about 4 seconds, Roger.
Just key it, don't say anything for about 4 seconds, Roger.
Yeah, your background level comes to 0 level, the same as your voice level. So we need to turn that back. You don't have any way of backing down the effects of the compressor as far as input level or whatever?
Effects of the compressor as far as input level or whatever?
I probably do, but I got to get the book out and do some reading. I just had this station completely taken apart. We put new countertops in the Airstream yesterday, so I'm just getting things back together again now, but I've got Fred Caddy's book out here, and I'll look through it real quick.
That's all right. That's all right. Just go ahead and turn your compressor off. Like I say, 3 is not anything that you're going to hear one way or the other, but it's just technically what it does. So, but you can turn that compressor off, and then go back and check your ALC for a mid-scale to 2/3. Roger.
ALC for a mid-scale to 2/3. Roger.
I've got the compressor up on the screen now, and it says 8, but I got to figure out how to turn it down.
Well, we could, like I say, we could just, if you would like, till you have time to further study the situation, we could just turn the compressor off and press on, Roger. And then at a later time, when you figure out the yin and yang of that compressor, you can put it back in. Ultimately, again, we go back to the ALC. We want mid-scale to 2/3 with the compressor in or out. Roger?
Scale to 2/3 with the compressor in or out. Roger?
Okay, Roger, I got to get into the manual here and figure out how to do all that.
Roger. Well, note to self, right now let's just turn the compressor off and make a note that you're going to study that at a later time, and so we can go double check our ALC for mid-scale to 2/3 with the compressor off.
For mid-scale to 2/3 with the compressor off.
Okay, I'm just trying to find it in the manual here how to turn the compressor off. I'm still looking.
Oh, Roger. Well, gosh, one of those moments, God bless them, the menu makers. Some things I think would be a lot nicer if they would just make the manual controls. It's just sometimes very difficult when everything is menu-driven, Roger.
Very difficult when everything is menu-driven, Roger.
I totally agree with you. You said it very clearly, and you get 100% of votes here for sure.
Roger, I'll tell you one other one, and that is the little Baofengs. The thing is, when you're just learning how to operate a device, it takes you a little bit longer to run through the sequences when you're just learning. The Baofeng, you can set it somewhere, and if you don't do something with it, it goes back to where it was. And that's terrible for somebody trying to learn this radio. If you don't respond within 2 or 3 seconds, that radio says, "You're stupid, I'm going back where I was." And that's what makes learning that radio so much more difficult.
That's what makes learning that radio so much more difficult.
No, Roger. Okay, I did find it, and the compressor is down to 0. Is that any different?
Yes, sir. You don't have, a suck up there trying to, wind up hearing the neighbor beating his wife in the back room. That compressor is, it's not compressing, it's not pumping, it's just laying there like a good radio should. All right, so now that we've gotten past the compressor for the moment, go ahead to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you speak rapidly, 100, 200, 300, adjust your ALC for mid-scale to 2/3 by way of mic gain control.
For mid-scale to 2/3 by way of mic gain control.
Okay, 100, 200. So no ALC at all, nothing on ALC at all. Okay, it just came up that time about 3/4 scale.
Yeah, that was just, I got just processing my Milford SDR, which I was monitoring you on, and so I lost your last part of that transmission. So what happened last time?
Last time?
I said I'm showing about 2/3 or about 1/2 or so compression on the scale occasionally. It was on the ALC is about 2/3 scale with the compression turned off. QSL.
Yes, sir. That's the way I would run it. You delve in further in the book and try to figure out what's going on with that compressor and how to control it. So that sounds good. Now, do you know where your equalization page is on that radio?
Equalization page is on that radio?
It's in the menu. I'll go through there and try to find that. I think the equalization is set pretty flat right now, if I'm not mistaken.
All right. Let me just give you a note to self. Note to self, if when you find out where the EQ page is, we want 3 clicks treble boost from where you are. 3 clicks treble boost from wherever you are at the moment. Roger?
From wherever you are at the moment. Roger?
Okay, Roger. 3 clicks of treble from where we are at this time, correct?
Yes, treble boost, 3 clicks from where you are, and I think that'll put you a very nice articulated audio, Roger.
Nice articulated audio, Roger.
Okay, Roger, I'm going to the menu now, and try to find it.
Well, that's all right. I hate for somebody to be under pressure, so just make those notes to yourself, and you can do that at your leisure, Roger.
You can do that at your leisure, Roger.
I'm not under any pressure. I'm just going through here, and I appreciate your help. I'm taking advantage of your help.
Roger. Well, I've given you notes there, and if you follow the notes, you'll have a good success. So, when you find out how to control that compressor, we're just looking for a 3 out of 10, a 30 out of 100, only about a third of its capabilities. 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100. Roger?
10, 30 out of 100. Roger?
Okay, Roger. I'm just going through the menu now.
I'm starting to get a little blow-by here from somebody that, we've been an hour on this frequency, and they've decided to go 2 KC off and start a transmission. So, whatever. Anyway, Ray, do you still have a copy there, sir?
Ray, do you still have a copy of this, sir?
Roger. Good copy.
Let me try you on a couple of antennas here. Come back and give me about 10 seconds about your antenna system, Roger.
Now, but driver antenna on the Tar Heel listing lay mount mounted on top and bonded to the airstream. And I'm using the West Mountain Radio target tuner antenna controller to keep the antenna resident on the frequency that we're operating on.
Yeah, Roger, Ray. Roger that. Yeah, I've got quite a bit of blow-by coming around, and I'm not sure why, but I'm sure I'm giving as good as I'm getting. So, if they want to do that, then they can certainly do that. Anyway, so you have 2 or 3 notes there, Ray. I think we're going to move along here. The first note is, about your compressor, how to adjust that. We just want about a third of that, 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100. And then your AOC is then adjusted to mid-scale to 2/3 as you speak fairly rapidly. And then as we get to the EQ page, we want 3 clicks treble boost from where you are. So if you have those notes, I'll let you go, and you can work on those at your leisure, Roger.
And you can work on those at your leisure, Roger.
Okay, Roger, I really appreciate this. This has been very helpful. So let's go ahead and take the time that you have. It's difficult to get this done. It's very difficult to hear it yourself, but I really appreciate your help this afternoon, and coming back to and all your help with getting this thing set up. But on the equalization page, I can only go 1 click above or 1 click below 0 here on the neutral.
I'm sorry, repeat that last on the EQ.
I'm sorry, repeat that last on the EQ.
On the equalization, I can go above or below the baseline, only 1 click above or 1 below on 8 different stages.
What you're saying is you have an 8-band EQ, is that a Roger?
Yes, you have an 8-band EQ, is that a Roger?
I do not understand that. Again, please?
Okay, how many positions of equalization do you have? Is it an 8-band EQ, or a 3-band EQ, a 2-band EQ, or do you know?
Or do you know?
It's an 8-band EQ. 8.
All right, let me give you some more notes. I hope you have notes on the other part. I'll give you new notes. Everything on that equalizer between 800 cycles and 1.5 K should be flat. Everything between 800 cycles and 1.5 K should be flat. Then, if we go to the top end, find something EQ-wise around 2.5 K, 3 K, and that's the one you want to boost 3 clicks more. Roger?
Clicks more. Roger?
Okay, Roger, understand, but we can only go 1 click. Only go up 1 click. That's all we can do.
Why is that?
Why is that?
Oh, okay, I think I understand. Right now, I've got the left two bars are up. The third, fourth, fifth, sixth bar are flat, and the last two bars are up. Understand?
Are the last two bars the top end of the audio spectrum or the bottom end?
Top end of the audio spectrum or the bottom end?
I'm thinking it'll be the top end, the one to the right. I got to look at the book and see how they have it scaled, but normally it scales from left to right, lower to upward, correct?
Yeah. So, like I say, what we're looking for to boost is something in the 2.5 KC to 3 KC range. 2.5 K to 3 KC range, we want that up 3 clicks, Roger?
That up 3 clicks, Roger.
Okay, we're up 2 clicks now, 2 clicks at this time. I'll get into the manual here and make those adjustments as soon as I can.
Roger, okay, so continue to work the microphone at the corner of your lips, and that's very important because sometimes your transients might get as loud as your words, so you would be effectively QRMing yourself. It's a hard habit because I've been so used to flying the airplane, we talk into it. It's going to take some learning for me to learn that, but I appreciate your input, and I'm doing it now. Is it making a difference? Yes, sir, it does. Now, you can solve the problem in a big way if you go down to your local music store and get yourself a foam windscreen, and you can put that foam windscreen right over that mic, and you can talk to it any way you like, upside down, sideways. It doesn't matter. That foam windscreen will solve the problems, Roger.
Foam windscreen will solve the problems, Roger.
Okay, very good. I may do that when I find a shop someplace. Okay, I'm looking at the scales now on the equalizer, and position number 1 is 50 kilohertz, number 2 is 100, 3 is 200, 4 is 400 hertz, 5 is 800, 6 is 1600, 7 is 24, and 8 is 32. And currently we are up on the 50 and the 100, and up on the 24 and the 3200.
Okay, 5 and 6 should be flat. 5 and 6 should be flat. 7 should be plus 3 over where you are. And the next one up should be plus 3 over where you are.
Up should be plus 3 over where you are.
Okay, right now the first one is up 1 click. The second one is up 1 click. 3, 4, 5, and 6 are flat. 7 and 8 are up 1 click.
Okay, so you should be, I'll tell you what, you should be flat from 5, let's see, 6, 5, 4, 3. You should be flat in those areas, Roger?
You should be flat in those areas, Roger.
Okay, Roger, but I am flat in 3, 4, 5, and 6. 3, 4, 5, and 6 from 200 hertz to 1600 hertz is flat.
Yes, good. Now, do you still have some boost range in that 2.5K adjustment?
2.5K adjustment?
Negative. You can only go up 1 bar. I'm up as high as I can go for the 2400 hertz and the 3200 hertz.
All righty, interesting. Well, I mean, it's all we can do there, unless you change mics and go to an electret condenser mic. That would give you a lot more top end. Electret condenser mics have a much more articulated top end, Roger.
Much more articulated top end, Roger.
Okay, Roger. Well, I'm running remote. I live in the Airstream full-time, travel over the country, so getting things now is not as convenient as it was when I had a home base, fixed location.
Yes, sir, I understand that. And we're talking ideal here, Ray. We're talking perfection. So you're really close, in a general way, just looking for that edge, if you know what I mean, just that, just a little more articulation. But, and maybe you'll read more about your equalizer to find out how to get a little more top end out of that. Now, the other thing is we could do a reverse proximity effect, but that would require a lot of work on your part as far as exact placement of that hand mic. I think we're probably better off where we are. I think it's really good. I think you'll like it. And if you go to YouTube, they call it a search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date 9/17/21. You'll be able to hear your audio, Roger.
You'll be able to hear your audio, Roger.
Okay, Roger. I think we had another station come in here. Is it somebody want to come in? This K4TCJ portable.
Well, it's a control net, Ray, so I'm talking to you right now, sir, and I thank you for your effort in dropping by. And again, if you go to YouTube and they call it a search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date 9/17/21, you'll be able to hear your recording. Give us a couple of days to get it uploaded, Roger.
A couple of days to get it uploaded, Roger.
Well, Roger, thank you so much, and I really appreciate your help this afternoon, and I will make myself hold the microphone sideways as I am now. Every little bit helps, even for an old man like me. I don't do this as much as I used to, but I really appreciate your help this afternoon very much. Definitely do.
Roger, sir. Well, let me say 73 to you, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday, where we'll do it all again, and we'll see if you have managed to consult the book and make those note corrections that we gave you. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.